going to be like, because what I used to do when I was young,
Yeah.
I would just say stuff and really didn't know what was behind it until I
Mm-hmm.
started doing research once I got older.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I was wrong about a lot of stuff when I was younger, but now I'm starting to get hip to stuff.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thomas, can you go right back? And what was you saying? You said motherfucker. What's so special about the
Yeah.
word motherfucker?
Motherfucker comes from, like I said, Maryland and Virginia was two states that was for what they call sex farms. And the Eastern Shore of Maryland, Eastern Shore of Virginia had the sex farms where they had the male slaves blindfolded. He didn't know if he was fucking his mother, sister's cousin. All he knew he was fucking a woman. Because sometimes they would have you fuck your mother. And that's where the word motherfucker comes from.
Mm. I was having a conversation with my uncle and shit. He's a real smart guy. You got to sit down and have a conversation with this guy. This guy really want to enlighten you. But he was mentioning about how the slave masters and shit used to sit back and have they would have sex with the young boys and shit, and then they would pull their pants down to let them know, like, yeah, they already been broken into. But I also mentioned this too about buck breaking. I'm pretty sure you heard of buck breaking.
Yes.
And I was telling my uncle, like, they would take the biggest baddest motherfucker that they had in that town or that farm or whatever the hell they had it, and they will demasculate him.
Yep.
They would take his wife or however how many children he got. They would take his clothes down, tie his leg up to one side, arms, and they would spread him with the horses. They wouldn't break him in half, but they would break him. They would break his limbs to the point that he can't defend himself. And what they would do, they would rape these men literally.
Yes.
Like they will
Yes.
break it. Now that's what you call butt breaking for your ass. Then
Yep.
after the master was done with him, he would call his homeboys from whatever town they was in, just so they can break that motherfucking dude. And the wife would sit back and will cry, and the children will cry, and they would be submitting to the master to get him to do whatever he or she wants. And that's what
Yeah,
you
that's
call butt
true.
breaking for your ass.
Yep, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, that's why I was trying to enlighten my uncle what was going down. I had to learn a lot of this shit, man. And that shit very offensive and it's very appalling just to hear that goofy shit.
Well, the Europeans, they're just some sick people.
Yeah, true.
They're sick because somebody asked me about where their homosexuality comes from. And I told him, I said, my thoughts on it. I said, I can't prove it, but my thoughts on it that it came from the Europeans. I said, because if you look at our ancestry, if you believe we're from Africa or you believe we're from here,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't exist in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't exist. It didn't exist until our ancestors wound up civilizing them and their sick mentality, they just spread it across the world.
Now, let's just get with the situation with Malcolm X. Like,
Okay.
how did you feel about brother Malcolm out there in Harlem?
Oh, well, he got killed, was it 2 years before I was born, okay? And I started learning about him when I was coming up during the 70s. And I was asking older people, why didn't they like Malcolm X? And some of them said, oh, he was a Muslim. I said, it has nothing to do with religion. I said, he's a black man who was for his people, but later on in life, he was for everybody. You know, he wanted everybody to be equal and to be treated
Mm-hmm.
just, just, justly. But a lot of the older people was like, oh, he's a Muslim, he's blah blah this and that, and then I'm like, okay, I'll leave it alone. So once I start getting into my teens and 20s, I start buying books about him,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember was a quote he said, and it always stuck to me. We didn't land on planet Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. And I was like, and thinking about it, I was like, okay, he's saying that we were here before the Europeans came, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't ask them to come here. They came here on their own, and they treated us like crap once we taught them how to survive off the land and how to fish and how to hunt. And then when he was holding marches and stuff, doing, like you said, in New York City, to me, that was very powerful. And he scared the daylights out of the United States government because they didn't want us as a people to start building up that power. Because we built up that power back then, and if we built up that power that we had from then up until now, they couldn't do anything with us. They would need us to help them out. That's the way I feel. And also, if we didn't have so many coward people back then that would stick with him and Dr. King back then, we wouldn't be going through what we're going through now. That's the way I feel.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned about Martin Luther King. Now, I don't know how you felt and you feel still to this day about Brother Martin Luther King. Now, me personally, I feel totally different about, I'm going to call him Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And the reason why I feel as though like that, he said he's a Christian. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm not here to judge anybody because I sin just like Martin Luther King. But one thing I haven't done, I haven't committed adultery on my wife. Okay. 2, I never had any outside children outside my marriage. Okay. 3, I don't work for any secret unknown societies. Okay. So that's my personal observation. And you can look this up about how Martin Luther King was an undercover agent for a secret society and dropping snitch bombs on his fellow colored people.
See, I didn't know that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, check into that one.
Yeah, you got to check that out, man, because
yes.
J. Edgar Hoover had a lot of dirt on Dr. King. He had a lot of dirt on that man, and I had to do research on for myself. Far as this man was having a lot of parties, a lot of sex parties, a lot of same-sex parties, a lot of prostitutional parties, and was having a congregational sex orgy party to have these big money train marches. Because you got to have some type of funds to have these marches, man.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look it up, dog. Look it up. You can go on YouTube. You can go on anything. You can look up on J. Edgar Hoover archives and all that. I had to look up an archive that they just released recently, like 2 years ago. And that shit fucked my head up about how Martin Luther King was fucking around on Coretta. And this was actual audio footage. This is no cap. I actually heard some shit going on with the FBI.
I check into that.
Yeah, you can check it out. Look it up, man. I mean, they tried to do the same thing with Brother Malcolm, but Brother Malcolm wasn't trying to hear that shit, man. He wasn't trying to hear that goofy shit. He wasn't trying to work for the man. They went to my man hotel. Because that's what they know they do. That's what they known for doing. Tapping. Wiretapping.
Yeah, also, I believe that it just wasn't the FBI and CIA. It was an inside job, too. It was somebody in the nation that set all that up so he could get killed.
Well,
and everybody saying it could be Louis Farrakhan, and I'm like, I don't know, because I'm like saying to myself, if it was him, why didn't he get touched now?
Right.
So I'm like, and we will find out the truth, but will I be here when that truth comes out?
Well, to my understanding, Brother Malcolm was infiltrated by the FBI and the CIA. Central Intelligence and the FBI was always on Brother Malcolm, even when he first started. in the late 50s. You feel me? When he first had his
Yeah.
first speech. And like I said, I don't know much about Malcolm, but I know enough, and I listened to enough of the brother's speeches. And I also did enough research on him that the FBI and the J. Edgar Hoover was on that man's heels like flies to shit. He was one of the most dangerous, influential speakers out there between him and Dr. MLK. I don't
Yeah.
know which one was worse. I say Malcolm was more militant. He was more dangerous
You
because he was
said,
more militant.
yeah, Malcolm was militant because, like he said, by any means necessary, and I did agree with a lot of things he said.
Mm-hmm.
Because if our people back then listened to him and did what he said, I don't think we would be in the situation we're in today.
That's the problem with us, man. We lost a lot of our black leaders, and once all the black leaders were put to sleep, we won't have nothing else really to fall back on.
Well, it just wasn't that. Like I said, we had so many coward black leaders back then because the day the day that Martin Luther King got assassinated,
Mm-hmm.
if you could see after he did his speech, when he walked back, Jesse Jackson had his hand out to shake his head, and he walked past Jesse and mean mugged him because he knew that Jesse had sold him out. Martin Luther King had already accepted his fate that he was going to get killed that day. And there's a reverend that used to be with them. I can't remember his name. It's on Facebook because Dick Gregory had posted the video about where the reverend scrawled on himself and said that we had Martin Luther King killed.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent the video out. I don't know if I still have it or not because Facebook had pulled so much stuff from my page.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go. I know it's on YouTube. I have to find out if it's on my page on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And when I seen that and I heard it, I was like,
Oh, you got a YouTube page?
no, I don't have I'm talking about my personal page. I don't have no like you have. I don't have that.
Oh, I'm about to say, because I'm like, shoot. Well, I mean, shoot. I mean, like I said, I don't just talk about politics. I talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just, it's one thing about me, brother. I talk about everything. I talk about life. I talk about relationships. I talk about my personal experiences. I talk about religion, even though I do believe most religions are bullshit.
It's man-made.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
But we got to make for what's the best of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But a lot of people don't know what's true and what's not true. A lot of people don't even know the color of Jesus Christ. But they're swapping down that he was a white man.
No, he was not.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not knocking it. But like we already agreed that
Yeah.
some of these religions are full of shit.
Yes.
And I just talk about everything, and I just post it on my show. And I've been following YouTubers for a minute, and I sit back and listen to them, and I be like, damn, they talk about the same topic every day. Oh, that is so boring. I might as well just talk about something different every single solitary day. That's what I did. So what I do is I holler at people, and I'm like, shit, send your thoughts and tell me what you think about the show. What you think I can do to better the show. If you think I need to put this on the show, then I'm going to fucking do it. That's just me. Because I'm only going by request. I'm not the one making this. Y'all the one that's making it.
Oh, okay.
I go by what the people want. I'm the people's champ. I'm like how, you know how the Dwayne Johnson would say, the people's champ is here? I'm the people's champ.
Yeah, okay.
I go by what people want. That's all I do. You know what I'm saying? But let's just get back to this Malcolm situation. The point that has me like really disturbed since the FBI was always on. I'm gonna use of people. I ain't gonna use no color. Of color people. How the FBI would sit back and monitor these strong leaders, but they're not focused on the Klan and the skinheads. Why is that?
They didn't focus on them because, like I said, Malcolm was a powerful man, and they did not want us to become powerful. So they did not focus on the Klan and the skinheads because those were two hate groups, and they look at it like this: if we can get a war started, maybe we can wipe most of them people of color out.
Mm.
And like, try not to jump off subject, but like now, this Trump situation,
Right.
trying to get this race war started. But like somebody said, I don't know if you know anything about Theo Wilson. He's a guy out of Denver, black dude out of Denver. He was saying we're not our great grandparents and our grandparents. In other words, he said, we're not going to just sit back and let it just go down. No, we're going to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it's not kicking off, because they know that we're not back in the 50s and 60s, and that we will fight back, and they will lose more than what they have.
I mean, honestly, we've been fighting back. It's just that we have more balls now. We have more
Yes.
balls now. We have more rules. The niggas always was fighting. It's just that they didn't have the numbers and they didn't have enough reliable resources to fight back or counterattack. See, now we have books we can counterattack on. We also have weapons now we can counterattack on. So the white man can sit up here and talk all the propaganda they want. Only thing we're going to do is give them a strong rebuttal. No matter if they white, black, green, or purple. It don't matter. But the difference is, and the sad part is, a lot of these motherfuckers out here don't even know who the original native person was, or the person that was originally here in this land. A lot of people don't know that, and that's the fucked up part.
Well, it's something I did have about that, and I've been trying to find it for a few years now, and I think whoever sent it out when it was on my Facebook page, I think they might have took that person's site down, because I looked on my Facebook page that I have for it, and I still can't find it. It was something about where did the red man come from?
Mm-hmm.
And there's these paintings down in Argentina, and the natives down there, they said that they were reading the paintings wrong. They just thought it was a war. No, it wasn't a war. It was that the original people down there was being invaded by somebody totally different that came from the north. So, as they said, these people did not look like them, because the people that they were talking to were Indians, what they call Indians today. And they said these people that invaded don't look like us. They was a totally different color. They was more of like an Asian type of person. And they said if we do a DNA, because they was doing a DNA of the people too. Like I said, what they call Indians, Africans, and also the other people that are down there now, they was like, so they're trying to find out where these people came from that invaded.
Mm-hmm.
So they said what they call it Indians or not Indians.
Yeah, they said they made up. They the white Indians, what they say. Yeah.
Well, from like I said, I can't even find it. I know it says something about Argentina. I think I still have it written down. I just have to go through my papers to see if I can find the video. Because the video was only like 10 or 15 minutes.
Right. Well, you did know that since you mentioned these different entities that were coming from the north. That was the British. That was the British that was coming down here, and they wanted.
No. What they're saying, this happened way before the Europeans came.
Oh, this was before. This was before the British.
Yeah, this was something like maybe between 9,000 to 18,000 years ago, something like that. Because, like I said, they said there were paintings that was in these caves, but they was being read
Uh,
wrong. They was being read wrong by people for years.
so this is way before Columbus.
Yes,
Wow.
yes,
Oh shit.
yes,
So I'm up there like damn near like 16, 1700s. You talking about way before then? Oh shit.
yes, yes. Because that's why they're still studying these drawings in these caves, and they're still digging up people and trying to get their DNA to find out who's who. You know, because the invaders, like they said, they invaded. They said they look more like Asians than what you consider Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they said if you look at it like this, if you want to say it's America, you have to go all the way from Canada all the way down to South America. And they said these people invaded had to come through, which is called North America, and just came straight on down to Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they say they're invaders and they look more Asian than what they consider natives now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they said they have the people, the tribe that this person was from. They said everybody in their tribe is doing their DNA test. They're digging up if they know where their family's been buried at. If they have plots where they've been buried at, burying their families at for centuries, digging those bodies up and seeing that if they can pull DNA from those family members.
Right. Oh, okay. So let me ask you this though. Let's just get back on topic.
Okay.
Who you think killed Brother Malcolm? Like literally. Like I ain't talking about we all know the Nation of Islam was the one that pulled the trigger. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that's easy. I'm talking about the mastermind of this whole ordeal.
Yeah, it was the United States government that had them taken out.
So you think it was a governmental assassination?
Yes.
And why would they want to plot to kill Malcolm X?
Like I said, that brother had so much power. If he would have did marches in every part of this country where people of color was at,
Yeah.
this country would the people that's running it now, they wouldn't be running it. To me, things would be better for everybody of color. And that's what they were scared of. They were scared, like now, they were scared of people of color taking this country over. But they have to realize there were people here before they even came here. Christopher Columbus did not discover anything. There were people here way before he even got here, and Christopher
Mm.
Columbus was a dumbass anyway. He had no control of his men. They
Facts.
controlled him.
Mm-hmm.
And getting back to Malcolm, he would have been so powerful that his legacy would still be going on today. The Nation of Islam would not be weak like it is now. It would be even stronger today. Because what they say they do farming. I have never seen, no disrespect to the nation, I have never seen none of the Nation of Islam's farms. I have never seen any of their housing developments.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something else that they said they had going.
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen any of the stuff that they say they have going. The only thing I've seen is people that I do know that's in the nation that I do have respect for, just out on the corner selling the papers, or even in the mosque.
Bean pies and
Yes,
shit like that. Yeah, I seen that. Literally.
yes. Because to me, if Malcolm was in control, even though he probably wouldn't have been with us today, because he would have been, what, close to 100,
Probably.
I believe he would have had the farms going, the housing developments going. and also training centers for people to have jobs.
Right. So still to this day, even though the Muslims are free, still to this day, how come the government is not pressing on who are the real murderers of this whole ordeal?
To me, they didn't care. They just wanted him out of the way because he had too much power. And somebody in the Nation of Islam was brought out. They bought him with money. That's why he got set up. We don't know, like I said, we don't know who in the nation took the money to set him up. But to me, that was the wrong way to go. I would rather, to me, if I got to set up somebody that I'm tight with, you might as well kill me right then and there. Because I'm not going to turn on some person that I have love and respect for.
Don't make sense not do it.
No, you might as well kill me right then and there. No, because I'm not doing it.
Yeah, because to my understanding, they said after they shot that man up, how many times they shot that man up? Like 16, maybe 20 times?
From what I heard, they said it was like 6 to 8, but I think it was more than that.
Yeah, I think it was like 16 to 20 times. They nailed Joe. They hit him with like shotguns, automatic, and a revolver. Like, goddamn, that's total overkill.
Yeah, that was overkill.
Like, what the fuck? Like a good 5 rounds to put a nigga down, depending on what type. They shot the man with a fucking 45. It's no way in hell he's going to come back off of that shit, huh? There's no way. But they made sure the brother was dead. But the fucked up thing is, they said the cops was called off.
Yes, they were. Because he got killed, what was it, like an hour after he did a speech or something like that?
Yeah, it was like doing a speech for real, honestly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was doing a speech. Yeah, they were called off, so that lets you know that they had a plan in the nation. And those cops knew it. So it just didn't go from somebody in the nation, FBI, CIA, and also go by the local police too.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it was a losing situation for him all the way around. Because if they wouldn't have got him there, I believe they would have got him at his home, and him and his whole family would have been wiped out. But I'm glad that his family didn't get touched.
Well, they tried to kill him that night when he was looking out that window, and then he said that he saw a couple of his members at his house, but burn that motherfucker down with them bottles, with the Molotovs.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that. I thought that was like a week or two before he had did a speech. I didn't realize.
Yeah, that was way before ahead of time. And then next thing you know, he went on the air, and he was telling them, like, look, he was like, man, if I'd have had my gun, I'd have shot him, yada yada yada. Next thing you know, the brother was end up dead the week after that. I'm like, God damn, they really wanted to shut that man the fuck up.
Yeah, that's why I said it was an inside job, because to me, if the nation, even though him and Elijah Muhammad was going back and forth, I still would have put my differences aside, said, look, we can discuss this as grown-ups, man to man, later. My job is, since I'm your elder, I have to protect you. We have to put our beef to the side. They're after you, so that means they're after you, they're after me. We got to put this little, beef on the side. We got to protect one another. But nobody never came and said that.
Right. Yeah, man, it's crazy. And see, the part that had me was when he first began his speech. Like, nigga, get your hands out my pocket. That was a real statement. That wasn't something that was off of Hollywood. That was a real statement. Nigga, get your hands out my pocket. And he was like, wait a minute, brother, hold on. They ran up on that man, and he smirked at him.
Yeah.
After he got hit with that goddamn shotgun.
Because from my understanding, they said it was maybe 3 to 5 people that shot him.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I don't know what type of guns and stuff they use. I'm looking at, okay, if that were 5 people that shot him, you looking at anywhere between, what's that, 18 to 20 bullets, that,
Mm-hmm.
like you said. And to me, one of them had to be an expert shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they meant to take him out. And also they wanted to send a message to people of color. You can't be
Mm-hmm.
doing this. They wanted to strike fear into us. And that's why I said a lot of our black leaders back then cowered up, and they shouldn't have. I would have been like, okay, you took Brother Malcolm out, okay, we going to come back.
Right.
But to me, like I said, a lot of them were, I don't know if they were brought off or if they were just that daggone coward.
Mm-hmm. Well, a
There's
lot of
no
people.
way you supposed to let a man that was fighting for you and that was getting more powerful to stick up for you. Why would you let somebody take him out?
Well, this is what I think personally. You know, like I was listening to some of Brother Malcolm's videos, like it's real old shit, and
Yeah, I can't even find none of those.
like something it's like fucking hard, man. And that's one thing I like about YouTube. YouTube are like they will portion out the information. They won't give you everything that you need to know. They will portion out the information, and the portion of the information that I got, like when he went to Mecca, Malcolm wasn't even a real fucking Muslim. And what I mean by a real Muslim, he wasn't like a Muslim, almost like you. It's just like saying you're a military nigga, but you're not a militant motherfucker. You know military techniques, but you're not a
Yes,
Marine. You're not a soldier. You feel me?
yes,
And the when he was talking, he wasn't a Muslim. He wasn't a real Muslim. He was a wannabe. You feel me? This is what he said. He said because the learnings that he got from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad were all cat. It was some made up shit. In order for you to be a Muslim, you gotta go to Mecca to have an understanding what's going on. He said Muhammad never went to Mecca. You feel me?
yes,
He took the religion. He catered it under his own well-being. He molded it the way how he wanted, and he took that Muslim belief and he gave it to the brothers that's in the city. That's what he said. That's what Brother Malcolm said. Once he was enlightened in Mecca, that's when he became an actual real Muslim. And if you notice, when he came to America and when he left Mecca, he started loving everybody.
yes, he